What's up, everybody? This is Carmine Davis, and you are watching and listening to The Carmine Davis Show. What is up? Happy new week, bitch. Get in here, let's talk. I don't have all day, okay? I don't have a lot. I have a lot to do, so little time. But I wanted to talk about this week's hot topics. There's a lot of shit going on. Before we do hop into these hot topics, make sure you guys follow, subscribe, rate, and review this podcast. I don't do it for my health, child. And make sure you guys subscribe to all of our socials. Twitter.com/Carmine Davis, Instagram.com/Carmine Davis, Instagram.com/Carmine Davis Show, TikTok.com/@Carmine Davis. We're even on Facebook, Pinterest. Follow me at Carmine Davis everywhere, okay? And let's get into it. You didn't come here to hear about my humdrum life. If you want to hear about it, listen to the Patreon.com/Carmine Davis, where I host the after show. We get into that tea. I have to update y'all on a lot, actually. So if I get the time, I'm going to update y'all this week. But let's get into this first hot topic from LoveYouScott.com. Cèline Dion reveals she kept secret stiff person syndrome battle from fans for 17 years. The burden was too much. Oh, Cèline. Heavenly Father, I'm still... okay, I can't do it alone. We're going to have to... before I start, we're going to have to uplift Cèline in prayers. I'm soliciting the prayer warriors, honey. We need to put our arms around Cèline because she ain't done nothing wrong to nobody ever. That I can remember off the hand. So we need Cèline. She is one of the last of the vocal trinity. We got Mariah, who's looking good, living better than ever. But I think that's because, the black in her. We lost Whitney. We need Cèline, okay? But let's get into it. In an interview with Hoda, the Canadian superstar describes the effects that a rare neurological condition have had on her voice and body. Singer Cèline Dion recently revealed that she hid her devastating battle with her stiff person syndrome from her fans for 17 years. In a surprising development to come more than 2 years after, Dion, 56, announced that she was diagnosed with stiff person syndrome in December 2022. The My Heart Will Go On singer revealed that she first learned of the startling neurological disorder nearly 2 decades ago. Dion shared the sudden revelation during a sit-down interview with Today host Hoda ahead of the interview's premiere on Tuesday, which we're going to be tuning in. According to the beloved Think Twice singer, she decided to share her diagnosis with the world in December 2022 because the burden was just too much. I could not do this anymore, Dion told Hoda during the sit-down. Lying from me, the burden was too much. Dion would also explain how her late husband's battle with throat cancer also factored into her decision to hide her own battle with stiff person syndrome. Dion's husband, Renee Angel, ultimately passed away from his battle with throat cancer in 2016. We did not know what was going on. She said, I did not take the time. I should have stopped, took the time to figure it out. And like it wasn't enough, Dion added. My husband as well was fighting for his own life. The 6-time Grammy Award winner also admitted that she hid her devastating diagnosis from her fans and those closest to her because she felt like she had to be a hero for her and her husband's 3 children in the wake of her husband's heartbreaking pass. I had to raise my kids. I had to hide. I had to try to be a hero while feeling my body was leaving me. Dion explained, Lord. I was also holding onto my own dreams. Lying to the people who got me to where I am today, she added regarding her decision to share her diagnosis with the world in 2022, I cannot do it anymore. Meanwhile, Hoda also discussed Dion's stiff person syndrome revelation with her fellow Today co-hosts after a preview of the pair's upcoming interview aired this week. She had it for 17 years, and she didn't know what was wrong with her, and she was worried, Hoda said. Her voice was gone. Her body was failing her. She was tripping and falling. All these things were happening. As previously reported, the revelation that Dion battled stiff person syndrome for nearly 2 decades before she shared her diagnosis with the world came just days after the singer also opened up about how her neurological disorder affects her voice. Dion explained that her battle with stiff person syndrome made it feel like somebody is strangling you every time she attempts to perform. It's like somebody is strangling you, Dion told Hoda during another interview preview last week. It's like somebody's pushing your larynx and pharynx. It's like you're talking like that, she continued while applying pressure to her vocal cords, and you can't go higher or lower. Now, I do want to go out. I want to say, all the divas, the fans always want to comment on lip syncing or dubbing voices and all that. But people really don't know what it takes for a performer to actually get out there dealing with life before the curtains open, right? This woman was dealing with this for like 17 years. So if she has some dubbing and all that, the girls would hop on Twitter and talk about how Dion lip synced her whole Vegas performance. And one, I am 1,000% here for a tracking performance. Me as a performer, I'll probably track as well. You know, I'm gonna do my best to perform live, but who got the time to have that wear and tear on your voice? And to be perfect all the time is not, if you know how the voice works, it's just not possible. There are things going on outside, and y'all, you know, Madonna will sit up there and make y'all wait 4 hours before her situation works for her. So at least Madonna started, or not Madonna, Céline started the show right on time, and her voice might not have always been there, but it's because now we know she has stiff person disorder. So don't judge someone for miming the whole time. You know, she had to have had that voice to even be dubbed. So let's get that out the way. And to know that she came out there and gave us some of the best performances. She ran a successful Vegas residency during some of the most heartbreaking times of her life. Céline deserves the praise, and I want us to give it to her. She deserves it. She worked hard for her people, and we need to lift her up. We need to lift her up. I love Céline. She ain't done nothing wrong to nobody. And just make great music, great performances, great moments. One of my favorite Céline moments was when that girl was singing to her when she let the window down.
You in my arms and never let go. I surrender.
And that girl was singing outside that window, and Céline rolled that window up on her. That was one of my favorite Céline moments, child. That bitch is so funny. And we need to lift her up in prayer. We're going to move on to the next hot topic. Before we do, guys, leave a comment. Prayers for Céline Dion. You know, say something nice about Céline, one of your favorite Céline moments in the comment, okay? And we're going to move on to the next hot topic. But before we do, make sure you guys subscribe, rate, and review this podcast. I do it for my health. Okay, follow us on all of our socials, Instagram.com/Carmine Davis, Instagram.com/Carmine Davis Show, Twitter.com/Carmine Davis, TikTok.com/@Carmine Davis, and we're going to move on to the next hot topic. From LovelyScott.com, Meghan McCain says Jennifer Lopez was deeply unpleasant on The View. I'm so over this. Well, I'm going to report it. Okay. Meghan McCain says she has a similar negative stories about Jennifer Lopez before telling a story about a J-Lo appearance on The View in a podcast just one day after taking to X Twitter to joke her former co-host can't stop talking about her. Meghan McCain is not a fan of Jenny from the block. They crossed paths when Jennifer Lopez appeared as a guest on The View, and McCain remembers their interactions being deeply unpleasant, RadarOnline.com has learned. I too share similar negative stories that the entire world does. I feel bad because we're turning a point where there's bullying happening to J-Lo, McCain revealed on Friday's episode of her Citizen McCain's podcast with co-host Miranda Wilkins. She just is a deeply unpleasant person. She had the biggest entourage I've ever seen, more than Kim Kardashian and the president, because, I mean, it's J-Lo. The former View host recalled of J-Lo, I just don't really understand why it was needed, because it's J-Lo. I was a host at The View. She was not nice. You don't always have to be so nice, but it was surprising that people like Kim Kardashian couldn't be more delightful. Well, it's J-Lo. That's Kim Kardashian. McCain's added, when you're coming on a show for a 10-minute segment, just fake it till you make it for 10 fucking minutes. McCain also claimed that Lopez came after her in April when she posted a TikTok declaring that the singer is in her flop era. She had our video taken down, McCain alleged. Explaining that the video was eventually put back up, we're beefing with her right now, Wilkins said. A representative for McCain told Entertainment Weekly, we don't know how or why we received a violation notice. We pressed appeal and the video was reinstated in a few hours. McCain's podcast guest, TV producer Carlos King, did stick up for Lopez. Okay, that's my girl. I love Carlos. King said he's a huge J-Lo fan and got a much better impression of her when they met earlier in her career in 2001. She was so nice and she didn't have a big entourage, King recalled. Now look, I'm not a dummy. She has since become like the global superstar. Boom. Megan knows I love Vegas. I went to see J-Lo in Vegas and top 5 shows I've ever been to in my life. She performed and danced for 90 minutes straight, no break. She's a hard worker, and I was shocked that people weren't buying the tickets. Lopez has seemingly been having a rough go at it for recently. She and her husband Ben Affleck have reportedly been heading for divorce, living apart, and even putting their $60 million Beverly Hills mansion up for sale. Following reports of underwhelming ticket sales, J-Lo canceled her upcoming summer tour to be with her family, and a big Vegas residency that was planned for later this year may also be in trouble. It seems like there's a lot of negativity out in the world right now, but don't let the voices of a few drown out. There's so much love out there, Jennifer Lopez wrote in a newsletter this last week. I'm with J-Lo. Meghan McCain. Okay, so you were on The View and J-Lo was the worst guest you've had or had a deeply unpleasant experience with. There are people who have issues with Meghan McCain. And then the conversation comparing her to Kim Kardashian is crazy. That's why I don't... This is deep-seated, okay? So what J-Lo has done, right? I want people to grasp that concept. What she's done is not an easy feat. She is from the Bronx. She pulled herself up from her bootstraps. She had absolutely nothing. So comparing her to the Kardashians is disgusting. I think that that's just already off the rip. Bad, okay? And to compare who she is and what she has done for entertainment, music, movies, production, creating fashion and all those things, of course she has a huge entourage. J-Lo does a lot. You know, this is a bitch that has a full movie, just dropped an album, a documentary, a whole Amazon series, and getting ready for 2 tours and shit. Like, that requires a lot of help. And just managing her day-to-day life, of course she has a big entourage because J-Lo is big. Kim Kardashian does Skims, and she has a reality show. And she tries to release some people from prison. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the girl who Kim looks up to. You know, when she's on the surgery bed, I want to look like that. Okay? When she moves and she's able to do certain things because J-Lo did it first. I'm able to do certain things because J-Lo did. When I'm sitting around and I'm thinking that I have time to twiddle my thumbs, I'm thinking that bitch J-Lo probably just signed on for a 60 million movie deal that she's producing. You know, bitch, get your ass up and post. You know, get your ass up to get to work. And J-Lo is an example for people like me that, yeah, I mean, and she also looks amazing. J-Lo probably eats fruits and veggies all day. She's probably not the nicest person, but that doesn't mean that what she has, failure, is something that she deserves. She deserves no bullshit. If you're going to give her bullshit or she's going to give you bullshit, maybe she's not the pleasant person. She's just here to promote her shit and go home. I don't get it. If she was a man, nobody would be discussing how pleasant she is. They would only be discussing all the things that she does, all the things that she creates. Why do you feel like J-Lo, this woman who has done so much, why she gotta be nice? Why? Leave a comment below. I don't understand why we want J-Lo to be nice. Why do y'all want her to be nice so bad? It doesn't say here she swung on anybody. She didn't call anybody out their name. She didn't roll her eyes or cut her eyes at anybody. She came to work. She don't have to be nice to you. She don't have to sit there and play patty cake with you to make you feel like what she has done is worth validating her and success. Leave a comment below if you understand where I'm coming from. I don't get it, but we're going to move on to the next hot topic. Before we do, guys, subscribe, rate, and review this podcast. I don't do it for my health. Make sure you guys follow us on all of our socials, Instagram.com/Carmine Davis, Instagram.com/Carmine Davis Show, TikTok.com/@Carmine Davis, Twitter.com/Carmine Davis. And we're going to go on to the next hot topic from, we've been following Diddy ever since this stuff broke out. I promised y'all. He's part of the reason why we're extending season 4, okay? From LoveYouScott.com, Kim Porter's father rebukes Sean Diddy Combs' vicious assault on Cassie. I didn't know he could stoop that low. Now, that's big coming from the father of Kim Porter. Kim Porter's father expressed his disgust after viewing Sean Diddy Combs' physical assault his former partner, Cassandra Cassie Ventura, in a disturbing hotel surveillance video that recently came to life. The footage shows Combs violently shoving, kicking, stomping, and dragging into her during the incident. Kim Porter's father, Jake Porter, has come forward to condemn the actions of Sean Diddy Combs after the security footage from 2016 surfaced showing the rapper abusing his then-girlfriend, Cassandra Cassie Ventura. In an interview with Rolling Stone, Jake, the father of the late model, voiced his shock at the footage. He said to the outlet, "You can say I was disgusted with the video and I wouldn't treat my enemy like that. It was despicable. I couldn't believe it. I was in Vietnam and I wouldn't do that to my enemy." Jake also mentioned that although he never witnessed the music mogul physically harming his late daughter, the video made him question things. Kim was in an on and off again relationship with Diddy from 1994 until 2007, and they shared 3 children together. Expressing his newfound perspective on Diddy, Jake told the outlet, "I didn't know he could stoop that low. I imagine it surprised a lot of people. I wouldn't even do a dog like that. My heart goes out to Cassie." Additionally, Jake shared insights into Kim's relationship with the rapper, indicating that she loved him but struggled to cohabitate with him. "I think he was very jealous. He's a very jealous person," Jake explained. "They both loved each other. Kim's love was legitimate. Puffy's love, I don't know what he calls love. You know what I mean? I really don't think he has any idea what love is." Following the surface security footage, Diddy issued an apology on Instagram expressing disgust at his actions. The disgraced rapper said, "It was so difficult to reflect on the darkest times of your life, but sometimes you got to do that. I was fucked up. I mean, I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. My behavior in that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video." He continued, "I was disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now. I went out and sought professional help. I had to go into therapy. I had to go into rehab. I had to ask God for his mercy and grace, and I'm sorry." He ended the video saying, "I'm committed to being a better man, and you should every day. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm truly sorry." After the Diddy footage surfaced, Howard University revoked the rapper's honorary degree shortly after. The university released a statement on its website that its board of trustees voted unanimously today to accept the return by Mr. Sean Combs of the honorary degree conferred upon him in 2014. The decision the school wrote revokes all honors and privileges associated with the degree. Now, see, in the comments, y'all were right how Diddy, there's a war out on the black man, and that Diddy's done so much, and, you know, they need to forgive him, or you don't believe Cassie and all those things. This man it's shocking to me that for years, this is the same shit that we've said about J-Lo, about her being unpleasant. She rolled her eyes at me, or she snipped at me. We have heard rumors for decades about this man being violent. He may or may not have been involved in the killing of 2 famous rappers, right? And that's what's followed him for years. And we have always supported Diddy because he's a man. There's video footage of him being aggressive towards women. Tyra Banks, we sat back and tore her down for the shit that she did on America's Next Top Model and the things that she said back in a time when she was actually pushing beauty standards to a place where we are today. And we want to go back and tear her down for comments that she may have made that are not savory today because of her attributions to beauty standards back in the day. But Diddy, you go back and look at the things that he said to those girls in Making the Band, and we laugh about it. That's fucked up, Puff. Puff is crazy. That's crazy. Why would he say that? That was the time. And, you know, them girls should just be thankful they got the opportunity. I think we need to look at how we treat and how we dole out not punishment, but how we dole out and how we curate or how we our desire for atonement and the things that we deem acceptable and what we don't. Leave a comment below if you understand where I'm coming from. I think these are great hot topics to talk about. Let's leave a comment below. Let's get into it. Let's keep the conversation going. I want to hear from y'all. Like, come on, like we've got to kind of get out of this whole. The whole J-Lo, when I'm on the internet and I see that all that shit about J-Lo being unpleasant and unnice, it makes my ass itch. It really does. Like I don't understand why J-Lo, and I get that people should live in their true selves, right? And authentic self. And I think J-Lo does. I think we should live in our higher selves all the time, and we should always move with kindness. I think, considering what J-Lo does, all the things that she has going on, everything that she has produced and where she's come from, what she's seen, what she's dealt with, continues to deal with, I think she's being the nicest she can. Diddy, on the other hand, has done some foul things, and we have proof of it. And all he has to do is apologize, and we're looking at him like, why is he getting his degrees and stuff snatched from? Like, leave a comment below if you understand where I'm coming from. And that's the show. I love you guys. Make sure you guys subscribe to the show. Make sure you guys follow us on our socials. Keep the conversation going on Instagram.com/CarmineDavis, Instagram.com/CarmineDavisShow, TikTok.com/@CarmineDavis, Twitter.com/CarmineDavis. Y'all making my ass itch, but I love y'all. Bye. Talk to y'all next week.